Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Gebo the Shaman, and today we are talking about what is uh an abduction. Like, I've heard so many people in the UFO and ET communities, even the ones who tend to spiritualize it, talk about these abductions, and I will say abductions are real. They do happen to people. And so today I thought would be a good time to explain because, uh, about what is going on with these abductions because I am an alien. No, I'm an extraterrestrial contactee, and there is a difference there. Maybe I'll make a uh, video about the difference between aliens and extraterrestrials. Maybe I could talk about it in this video, but yeah. So, what are abduction? Or, like, I guess I want to phrase it as, like, are abductions real? Or the truth behind abductions? I haven't really, like, done a lot of thinking about this. I just, see what happened, guys, is I just watched a video on News Nation of, individual. He was a lieutenant colonel. Uh, his last name starts with a B, I think. And anyway, so he was explaining his experience about his abductions. And so, and unfortunately, it is really troubling to me and really um it's like, I've so for example, this lieutenant says, "Oh, there's good aliens and there are bad aliens." And by the way, extraterrestrials is what we like to use because they are basically our family, our brothers and sisters. So our our star family, and I've experienced nothing but love and kindness from them in my own journeys and my own meditations with them. Let me uh let me get my mic over here. Sorry, I'm like so far away from my mic. Um, so yeah, I just, I felt this inspiration to talk about what, what's going on with the abductions, what's going on with these things, and I just popped on and turned on the camera and pressed record, and you know, and now we're doing this. So, I cut it from a it's a it's a bit difficult to explain, like, my experience, because I came at this from the same feelings as anyone else. I didn't know anything about extraterrestrials. I knew nothing about them. And then, you know, I started doing these, well, my my spiritual counselor is the one who introduced these things to me, kind of thing. And so he started doing what's called CE5, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. And there's a certain protocol that you use, and he was doing that protocol, and he was meditating, and, you know, crazy things happened his first time, except, you know, he didn't really realize what was going on, although, even though, like, in the camera he was recording it, and in the camera you could hear, like, you could see a light moving above him. He was in his recliner chair, laid back, and you could see a light above him, or sorry, a beach chair. And so you see this light moving around. And you can look at his channel, Thunder Wizard, on YouTube. Search Thunder Wizard and then search on his channel how I became an extraterrestrial. It's really profound stuff. So that's how I got introduced to this. I was like, yeah, I've heard of like Stephen Greer and the CA5 stuff. I was just like, yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not really interested. And then I started I just said, well, what the hell? Might as well just try it and see what happens. There's nothing I can, nothing that I have to lose, you know? And so I tried it, and it was very hard at first, you know, to get the, yeah, to get any kind of feeling or experience from it. And I was just kind of going through my mind and saying, here's the steps and all that. And then I made contact with them. I finally was able to make contact, and I guess I would call it conscious contact. In the I think it was my 12-step community, we used that word conscious contact with a higher power. I think that's where that came from. And that's such a beautiful phrase because it's us reaching out to them, and that makes them aware that there's somebody trying to get a hold of them, somebody trying to reach them, somebody trying to communicate, and then they will actually respond in kind. And they will come down to us and they'll communicate with us and see and like have these experiences within meditation that are, you know, it's like really profound stuff. But the only emotions that I've had from them directed at me are love, our kindness, our support, our, you know, uplifting, positive. One of the times that I was doing meditation, I felt something along the lines of like intimacy, like emotional and energetic intimacy with a female being. And it was interesting, you know, it was like, huh, I haven't, like, this is like a whole new experience that takes me into a whole new thing, you know, it's like, you know, anyway, so, you know, and I've been doing these interdimensional meditations for quite some time now, and I still have not come across an evil extraterrestrial. And I've been doing this a fair amount of time, and you know, it's like if anything bad was gonna happen, it would have happened already because I've been doing this like 1 to 2 years already. And you know, and so I say all that to tell you there is no such thing as an evil extraterrestrial. There is no such thing as an immoral or abusive or bad extraterrestrial. Even the ones that look scary, like the nagas, the snakes, snake beings, and like you could say there's reptilian I don't want to say reptilians like the David Icke thing, but there are a certain civilization of beings that look like reptile features. Like they have reptile features. But whether the classification is, oh yeah, this is a reptilian, is not. They could be from Google blah blah blah, or Andromeda, or da 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 da, or whatever it is. some galaxy or civilization that we haven't even heard of yet. So, it's anyway. So let me enlighten you. There are no such things as evil aliens, evil extraterrestrials. Remember, extraterrestrials are our friends. Aliens is something else. I will say that. There is nuance here. Okay, so now, extraterrestrials we know will not do us harm. Now, but you say, well, come on, Gabo, like, come on, dude. There's people who have had like abductions and all kinds of beings doing really nasty and crazy and abusive things to them, which I would say, yeah, there are. Absolutely. And I don't deny the fact that abductions occur. So we can hold two concepts in our minds at once. I know from personal experience that extraterrestrials are peaceful, are kind, are so loving and full of joy and uh kindness and empathy and love that it would literally kill them to do any kind of harm to anyone. And this is also something that I've been uh told by them, which is we're all one. You and me and them, we are all one. Our souls are all connected to the same thing. Whether we want to think about it as quantum entanglement, whether you want to think about it as like we're all fragments of the same soul kind of thing, or whatever. We are all one. And so, given that understanding, they're like, shit, I don't want to hurt another fragment of my soul. I don't want to hurt another person because that would hurt me. Do you understand? Like, their understanding is beyond ours. Ours is like, oh, he hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt him. Where, it's like we're all it's we have our human understanding, our ego, and all that gets threatened, and so we do a bit of projecting. So the conflation and the projection is, oh well, since all humans are, since there's good and evil in us humans, there must be good and evil in extraterrestrials. And I can tell you that's the farthest thing from the truth. They are all loving, they're all benevolent, they're all kind, and all they want to do is empower you and lift you up. to their level. That's all they want to do. That's their mission, is to help you and empower you and all that. And so, now we talk about aliens or abductions. And if you can think, you know, the A's go together, like alien, abduction. Okay. And then you think, alien, A, as in artificial. So there's a alliteration, I guess, for you. So, so now you're saying, okay, well, abductions are real, and extraterrestrials are loving beings. So, where does that put us at, Gibbo? Right? I'm sure that's what you're thinking. And then we have aliens. So, what are aliens? Aliens are, well, there's many possibilities here. I have never seen an alien. I have never interacted with an alien. So, there's that movie, like Alien versus Predator. That's also it's like, that's not like what is typically uh depicted in movies is not that kind of alien. um okay, so what is an alien? So an alien can be what is described as a robotic entity that uses an alien-like disguise. Okay. So, plus you need to be aware that there are technologies, there are very advanced technologies that, they can create confusion and illusions in your mind. They can make you see things that are not there. They can produce memories that you didn't have, or take ones away that you did have, or things like that. Those have been documented. And so a lot of times what these I don't even know how to describe it. These these special special ops, dark ops, black ops people, typically associated with the military industrial complex, not both the military and the defense contractors and things like that. They have special programs, secret programs. They go by the acronym USAPs, USAPs, unacknowledged special access programs, unacknowledged. So what those are basically, and I learned all this, by the way, from Dr. Stephen Greer. So what those are basically, oops. Are we okay? Oh, sorry guys. I pressed a button. All right, so they're basically like these hidden programs that retrieve crashed aliens or go abduct people or whatnot. And they have different missions, they have different people, they have. It's all very, very compartmented. And so one of their missions might, when they go abduct someone, might look like, they go up in a Black Hawk helicopter or an Apache, and they'll put the spotlight on the home. This will be in the middle of the night. The person will wake up. The windows are all glowing. There's a bunch of light inside, and that's creepy and whatever. And then they, with the technology that they have, they can actually go through windows and well, they can go through walls actually. Uh, and so they'll it's either humans dressed up as aliens, humans implanting the memory, or implanting the, pretending having this like imaginary scenario in the person's mind of being an alien, a scary alien or whatever. And that'll incite some fright, some terror, some trauma, because most people haven't experienced anything like this. And I can tell you assuredly that no extraterrestrial has ever made a deal with the United States government. There's a lot of people who will say, oh, the government, or the aliens made a deal with the government. We'll give you technology if you give us people. No. That is not how it works. And even by that agreement, even if they did make that agreement, that would mean that they're doing harm to us, which they would never do. So when people tell you that stuff, just disregard it. If anything that you hear or see on YouTube or TV or news or movies gives you fear, gives you any type of fear of ETs, disregard it. Just completely throw it out the window. Because what they are trying to get you to do is buy into the PSYOP. And, what that is they want you to think, oh gosh, the aliens are coming. Gosh, I'm helpless. And then it's, I don't know if you guys have heard of problem, reaction, solution. You create a problem. The public has their reaction and wants a daddy, a savior to come and help them. And then you have the solution that you want. The government has more power, more control, and because the public gives up their security, their freedom, or gives up their freedom for security, there you go. You don't even have to fight over putting people into concentration camps or whatever. Like, one could do that easily by scaring them, by or watching their reaction. The public begs for and outcries for government help and support and to be safe. And the government says, okay, if you want to be safe, let's go into these camps. Let's just lock you up in a smart city. let's put you in a, I know they have like smart cities. They might even just do something like you know, housing development community where it's like a bunch of apartments or whatever, but it's locked in a fence, so it's like yeah, we'll keep you safe. We'll lock you up. We're in a free society. To keep someone safe from a threat, you would think you would lock up the criminal and not the public. And so, this is how they trick us into things. It's like we just keep on buying into it, saying, everything is okay. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. And, well, we're being abused. And so, it's, so, I just gotta warn you guys, don't buy into any of that fear mongering over what the ETs are going to do to us. They're not going to do anything to us. An ET will never do anything to you without your permission. In fact, one of the best ways that I interact in my interdimensional meditations is I give them permission to interact with me. I say, hi, I'm inviting my guide to come to me. They're like, okay, here you go. It's or you could, when you do interdimensional meditation, you could also say, I'd like to meet beings of light that love me, that have unconditional love for me, and they'll show up. But as far as, this, this, what's it called? The abductions. What that is humans abducting other humans, acting like, oh gosh, you got abducted by an alien. Wow. That's terrible. That's frightening. Meanwhile, they're the ones that are doing it the whole time. It's really abusive behavior. And so if you are being abused, if you're being abducted, if someone is putting an implant into you, you know it is fake. It is humans that are doing that. Because why would a all-knowing, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, higher being of light, why would they need to put anything into you? It is like, okay, the way that they do things is not through implants and anal probes and all that crap that we're conditioned to believe in. It is through energy. So you can ask, hey, when you go into a meditation, is there any beings of light and love who would like to help me heal. I invite you to put your energy into me to help me heal. And then, boom, you'll have someone there to help you. So if you want to communicate with these beings, all you need to do is ask. It's very simple. They will literally communicate with anyone who is willing to ask them to communicate. And so these are not beings of violence. These are not beings that would ever do something to abuse you or to manipulate you or to harass you, be violent to you, be abusive. No, these are beings that love you. These are your family. You know, these are your star family. And so, you know, if you like, they're just basically waiting there for you. They're like, anytime these humans want to communicate with us, we're down. But they don't seem to want to communicate. They're just like bored. Well, I mean, they have their own lives and stuff, but they love it when we communicate with them, when we talk with them, and when we want to, you know, meditate with them or like, you know, reach out to them in any capacity. So I would encourage you to do so. You know, that is the that is the bright spot of my day, is communicating with these beings. And you know, at first I was very scared to communicate, you know, as I'm sure any human would be. You know, it's trying something this new and revolutionary it's naturally just going to be scary. One of those, like, scary things. Not because it's frightening or, like, terrifying, but just because it's a new thing that's unusual to do. You know? That's I think where the fear comes from. And it's not their doing. They don't make us fear anything. We do it to ourselves. And it goes a long way to show, like, what my spiritual counselor did. He just said, like, hey, I'm terrified. I'm afraid. He did the C5 meditation. He felt a presence there in the room with him. And then he says, I am afraid. I'm terrified. Or he doesn't say I'm terrified. He says, I'm afraid. I'm fearful. And by the way, when you say, I'm afraid, I'm fearful, I am anxious, I am this or that, what that does is it says, okay, thank you, you know, the extraterrestrials are going, okay, yeah, this is a person who is having an emotional experience right now, but they're not letting that emotional experience drive us away. Because they will. They will disappear so fast if you even have the slightest, like, fear or uncomfortability or terror or anything like that, they'll just leave you alone. They'll be like, okay, well, let's just not. He's not ready. She's not ready. They're not ready. And you know, and I've even experienced that. I got a little bit fearful one time, and I was just like, okay, I guess that's it. These things happen because we're human, and we have feelings and all that. But I don't want I don't want that to stop you from making contact, because these are beings that are just incredible. Incredibly loving, incredibly supportive and kind and caring. And it's just a joy to be with them in my meditations and in my interdimensional meditations. So yeah, guys, whenever you hear about someone being abducted, just know that is other humans doing it to them. There's various technologies that we can use that they can use to scare the crap out of you, and make you believe that it's aliens. And, so extraterrestrials are actually our star family. They're beings that love us and support us and want us to, empower us and want us to be the best. And also, when we do go out into space in our astral bodies, they are like, whoa, we're so gigantic out there. We're not like these, we think our understanding of ourselves is we're like these little humans running around the place. But out there, we are gods. We're actually like the gods. And we're very powerful deities. And so, one time I was going into meditation. I was like flying, and I went up to a UFO. I was like, oh, what's this? And I grabbed it. I put my hand on it, and it went down. And the being inside was like, hey, what the heck? Excuse me. And I was just like, wow, I guess I have a lot of power. And so that's where we get into the UFO hijacking programs. There's actually a term that the military uses called psionics, which is basically psychics. And they basically do something that is akin to meditation. And they go out and look for a UFO. They actually hijack the UFO, and they bring it down to Earth's surface. And there's actually, what's called a crash retrieval team waiting there to, lift it up by helicopter and take it to a facility and all that. And also, by the way, what you hear termed as crash retrieval programs, they are not crash retrieval programs. They are hijacking UFO programs. UFO hijacking programs. And so they have a plethora of technologies such as EMPs and other technologies that they use to to track these UFOs and to have their sonic team go out there and hijack these things and actually bring them down. And they actually can actually shoot them down with an EMP type weapon. I've heard the term from Dr. Stephen Greer called scalar weapons, which I have no idea what that is. Alright, guys, so yeah, that's it for me, really. I'm kind of tired, and I think I'm gonna go do a meditation real quick and go to bed. So, yeah, I love you guys, and I hope you guys are doing well. And also, don't forget, I do have a plethora of services for you to check out. Don't forget about my astrology readings. I still am offering astrology readings. I have an astrology course, as well as Qigong courses, yoga courses, martial, and, and other stuff. I have different courses and stuff and services and all that. So, yeah, you can go to my website, gebotheshaman.com, and check out, also you can check out my book on Amazon. It's called The Tantric Secrets of Vedic Astrology. So you can look up my name, Vincent Cerna, or you can look up Tantric Secrets of Vedic Astrology. Alrighty. And yeah, so we will talk to you next time. Peace. Take care, guys.